it's running. Martin, we did Nova yesterday, and we were talking about one of the fast cash strategies of reactivating past customers. And you had an example that was particularly relevant. Would you share that with me on camera?
Yeah, no problem. So in a previous company I worked in, probably about the early 2002, 2004, I set up what was called, we termed the business development team. I had one guy with me. And what our focus was to look at dormant customers. That would be customers who'd not bought software, who'd not bought services, but still we thought had the product. I drew up a list of those and we selected 6 that we thought. Basically I phoned them up and really we offered them what we termed at that point in time an audit activity. We went along, we actually looked at their business, we looked at how they were utilising the products. And out of the ones that we selected, 6 of them were very keen to move forward with us. So in which case we took on relevant areas of that business, focused very much on those. And then as a result of that, we generated a pipeline of £1.2 million worth of business within a 6-month period, basically. Just me and my colleague at that point in time. We then basically allowed the rest of the teams to pick up, and whether it be a software sell, whether it be in a service sell, what have you, but we were the pathfinders to actually go in. And a lot of those companies, the reason they stopped being a proactive customer, the number was cost, a number that they'd changed personnel, and personnel didn't get along. The actual vendor had changed personnel, and again personnel didn't get along. So there were several reasons, but ultimately by simply contacting that customer, identifying that whereas the vendor was still in business, they were still in business, and they still wanted to use that product, and they were happy with the product, then we had a halfway ground so we could exploit upon that.
So you'd recommend that as a strategy to reactivate past customers as a great way of generating fast income? I
personally felt that within 6 months, a pipeline of 1.2 million. My annual target that year was 1.5 million. I'd done near enough my entire target in 6 months by past customers, and that's basically that took over 75% of my target was done with those people. So I always think that if the relationship's not too badly damaged, there's always a means back to take a past customer. They've bought from you once, they've trusted you once, they've had a need for your product once, try it again. They'll probably be much willing to listen to you, especially in the current marketplace where it costs a lot more money for them to change suppliers about their equipment, as well they would be more interested in you and your new products.
Martin, thank you very much for
My
sharing
pleasure.
that. Tom, thanks for joining us here. We are on a CPD day. I know we talk quite a lot and you've had lots of successes, but I'm just looking particularly at the success with some of our fast cash strategies, and namely the questionnaire and prompters and the upsells, and I know you've sort of combined the two and had a great success story. Do you want to just sort of share that with us?
Yeah, I have a client who had no processes, he had nothing in his business. So what we introduced a questionnaire. We introduced a strategy that when somebody phoned up, they went through who they are, what type of products they were looking for. And once we found out exactly what people were looking for, then the team was taught to how to upsell. To give you an example, a guy phoned through and he was looking for a £600 piece of equipment, and within a half an hour later he had spent £9,000. And then the back end strategy we introduced was to upsell them, subsequently within 3 months. That went up to 20,000, and then again 3 months later that went up to just under 40,000. That was the guts of a year ago, and the guys probably spent in around about £50,000. The lifetime value of that client should be in around about £250,000 over 4 to 5 years, which is quite significant. So that's just one strategy that was employed within the business.
I was actually this weekend we went to an orchard where you can pick apples just for the season, and they had a beautiful fast cash strategy over there. You could basically adopt an apple tree, so you can go there, watch at your tree in spring and see how much blossom is in and so on. And this weekend was the first weekend you could pick the apples out of the tree. I thought, hey, that's a beautiful fast cash strategy, because you get money up front, €23 a year for a tree, and then at least sold 1,000 over there. It's easy money.